Oh, good evening. How you feeling out there? Let me hear you say, yeah. What about a big hand for these fellas working so hard for you out here on a hot afternoon, everybody? Give it to them one time. Let me have a little more vocal back here in the monitor. Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one of me here, and I've driven a long way to be here with you this afternoon, all the way from my home of Nashville, Tennessee, and I hope you guys are having a good time out there. And we're going to continue to do it right now with a little boogie-woogie that goes like this. Look out now. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't like my piano playing, even if you don't like the singing, even if you don't like the whole rest of my act, what about a big hand for these go-to-hell boots this afternoon, everybody? You can turn the whole monitor down just a couple of notches. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Let's boogie-woogie now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, into this sweltering afternoon of rock and roll and rhythm and blues and jazz, it's time to bring you the heavenly strains from yours truly, the very obviously heavily strained Reverend Billy Wirtz, director of the First House of Polyester Worship and Horizontal Throbbing Teenage Desire. Our First Lady of the White Go-Go Boot, Lord of the 40-watt undulating, bubbling lava lamp, apocalyptic, no pizza takeout after 12, achy, breaky, interfaith, love tabernacle all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Did somebody say amen? Thank you, friends. I'm feeling good today. Ladies and gentlemen, I got one slight problem that I didn't anticipate, and I need to deal with it real quick. Last night, at the end of the gig in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, this guy slipped and dropped my piano down 2 flights of steps, and it's messed it up a little bit. Let me just fix up. Just hang with me, okay, for just 1 second, all right? Let me just check it out and make sure it works, all right? Piano number 1. All right, that's good. All right, piano number 2. All right, good. Baby grand. All right, baby grand number 2. All right, good. Shakey's piano. All right, good. Bobby Goldsboro piano. See the tree, how big it's grown. All right, good, good. Just want to make sure it worked. All right, Walmart and holiday time. All right, good. We're working good. All right, all you Ren and Stimpy fans out there. There we go. Okay, all right, sorry. Let me just check. The National Geographic theme song. All right, good. All right. Time Life Books brings you The Mysteries of Nature. The Search for Food. The Hunt for Shelter. And the Miracle of Birth. Sorry, I just need to get that out of the way. Sorry. Oh, wait. Here's one for you. Sorry. That's the Vienna Boys Choir singing Achy Breaky Heart. Sorry. I'll do a couple of quick impressions for you, then I'll go into my first song. Ladies and gentlemen, my impression of Bo Diddley as a yuppie. Bo Diddley bought a fax machine, buy corduroy britches at the L.L. Bean. The Temptations go to codependency treatment. I know you want to leave me. Bye. Fats Domino discovers the Quaalude. I found my... Sorry. All right. We're going boogie woogie now. Here we go now. Good evening and welcome, everybody. Thank you much. Thank you. All right, that's great. My first song this afternoon is a tribute to one of the pioneers of rhythm and blues by a man by the name of Louis Jordan. And Louis Jordan used to play up around these parts quite a bit. And Louis Jordan did all these cool songs where things in the barnyard and things that like inanimate objects would come to life. And I wrote a little song with a friend of mine, and this is one that's on my last album, which is entitled Confessions of a Hillbilly Love God. It was originally entitled She Was Only a Moonshiner's Daughter and She Always Made Me Liquor. No, oh, sorry. All right, sorry. Sorry. It's the heat. It's the heat. It makes me a little weird. All right, sorry. Where were we? It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. So I got up to get a little bite to eat. I heard some weird noises coming from the Frigidaire. I said, Lord have mercy. Something's going on in there. The door swung open, and friends, I saw the light. As my eyes beheld a most unusual sight. Well, the black-eyed peas were out for a stroll. Little Sarah Lee was on a big roll. Mr. Arm & Hammer was banging out a beat on a month-old package of mystery meat. You know, the pork rind shuffled with the lean cuisine while the fat back snuggled on the turnip greens. The Congress guys here going, boy, I hope we don't get letters on this. 7 kinds of mustard and 5 kinds of dressing were gathered round the Quaker oats, waiting on the blessing. Over in the corner, a box of Velveeta spread a little joy to a lonely fajita. Mrs. Paul wagged her finger at Chef Boyardee. He said, you ain't nothing but an entree, don't be getting saucy with me. Yeah, the oysters were smoking, the crab meat was quibbling, the eggs cracked up and all the niblets were nibbling. Dairy and produce, grains and meat, it was a food chain of fools with a crazy beat. Oh, let's boogie now. The Vienna sausage and the refried beans were doing the limbo on a can of sardines. The ribeye stared, the beans were snapping, the Minute Maid got juiced while the iced tea was rapping. Oscar Mayer talked trash to the Eskimo pie. The Green Giant told Hungry Jack, buddy, you got the wrong guy. Well, I finally shut the door on that crazy jam when the Miracle Whip healed the deviled ham. The sun came up 3 hours later and things finally chilled out in my refrigerator. Because the oysters were smoking, the crab meat was quibbling, the eggs cracked up and all the niblets were nibbling. dairy and produce, grains and meat. It was a food chain of fools with a crazy beat. Yes, the ribeye told the tenderloin, darling, we gotta quit meeting like this. While the chicken jumped up and said, I want to make a clean breast of the situation. The Crisco hung his head and said, Lord, Lord. Mrs. Hormel asked her date, baby, why are you being so chilly to me tonight? While the Smuckers jumped up and hollered, everybody jam. There you go, little food chain of fools. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to do a couple of different styles of piano for you today. I like to do the old piano boogie woogie that I did right there. And I'd like to do sort of what we call a talking country blues right now. This was made popular by a guy named Woody Guthrie, who played up around here many years ago. And this is a song I wrote that's kind of in the Woody Guthrie tradition. I was down in Georgia recently, and there was a billboard down there that was causing all these traffic jams. And I was eating at a Long John Silver's when I heard about the billboard, and I wrote a little story kind of around it, and it goes like this here. 6 months ago, last Saturday, we took my Uncle Ed to that buffet. He ate and ate till his belly was packed. I guess it was the shrimp that made him react. Broke out in a horrible rash. Had to get the Gold Bond powder. Next morning, the rash had all gone away, all except for one spot, and to his dismay, the rash was in the middle of his lower left cheek. He turned around and then he gave it a peek. Then he hollered, Jesus Christ! Then he fainted. We came a-running. Well, we soon found out that his odd behavior was indeed on account of our Lord and Savior. The rash in the middle of his lower left bun looked exactly like the face of the Blessed One. Mama started laughing. Daddy started praying. Sister called Action News 12. Soon there was reporters all over the place, and they put a blue dot in front of Uncle Ed's face. One reporter said, folks, what we got here gives a whole new meaning to the end is near. Might be Jesus. Could be Willie Nelson. Details at 11. Next morning, Uncle Ed opened up the door, and there was folks lined up for 8 blocks or more. Some had crutches, and some had canes, and some had warts and abdominal pains. Uncle Ed made a run for the car. He panicked. He didn't make it. Well, they grabbed my uncle and tried to pull down his pants. They weren't being mean, just trying to get a glance. He hollered, wait, and declared a truce, and then he dropped his drawers and they beheld his caboose. Some tried to kiss it. Others held babies up to it. It was not a pretty sight. Soon folks from all over were making tracks, trying for an audience with his gluteus max. Motels were full of souvenirs sold fast, especially those posters of Uncle Ed's house. Sorry, forgot we're outside. Sorry. Phil Donahue called and said, I don't care how, I want that guy on my show right now. There was 4 other folks on the show that day, each one unique in a dermatological way. One guy had a planter's wart that looked exactly like Michael Bolton. It was cool as hell. Well, Uncle Ed commenced a show in the face when out of the audience jumped some nutcase, tackled Uncle Ed with a big loud scream, and smeared him on the butt with some cortisone cream. They got a hold of the idiot, but the damage had been done. Well, we all went home, and later that night I heard Uncle Ed cuss as he beheld the sight. The cream had destroyed our financial mecca, and now Jesus looked like Neil Sedeka. Ain't no money in Neil sightings. We decided to take some immediate action and try to induce a seafood reaction. The rash came back, but when it came back in, it looked like an ad for the Hair Club for Men. Then it got all lumpy. Then it just went away. Well, the word got out and folks quit coming around and things went back to normal in our little town. Some guy on TV said he'd seen the Lord's face. Uncle Ed just kind of smiled and said, yeah, there go I, but for the grace. Get thee behind me. Tales of the unexpected. That's my Uncle Ed, y'all. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. play the blues, y'all. Sonny. If that feels all right to y'all, let me hear you say, uh-huh. I love playing the blues. Because it reminds me of when I was a little girl growing up in Glasspack Holler. My mama used to play the blues for us, and we were real poor. It was just us and mama, and we only had a guitar with one string on it. So it was just us and mama and a guitar with one string and a real nervous cat. When you've only got one string on the guitar, the songs kind of start sounding the same after a while. So then Mama would gather us around the lava lamp and tell us little stories of how the world came to be. And we'd say, Mama! And she'd say, what? We'd say, where did fire come from? She'd say, some people say it came from the ancient fire god Vulcan. And we'd say, Mama. And she'd say, what? We'd say, how about factory outlet stores? Where did they come from? She'd say, some people say they came from the ancient Lancaster god, Polyestus. And we'd say, Mama. And she'd say, you're making fun of my mother, buddy. You're making me mad. I heard a couple people doing it out there, and there's too many of you for me to come down off this stage. If you people are going to make fun of my mother out there on a hot day, you got to do it right. It's not, what? You got to kind of go up on the end like, what? To really do it right, you kind of have to tilt your head to one side. To really do it right, you have to tilt your head to one side and then place the finger in the right nostril, and then you say, what? Now, if the whole place does it, it will look cool as hell, I guarantee you. And we'd say, Mama, and she'd say, good, you're doing it, all right, good. We'd say, how about narrative songs dealing with ghosts, CB radios, and dysfunctional families? She'd say, have y'all been eating my mushrooms again? And she'd play the blues like this. Did you hear what just happened? I was playing that little lick and making that kind of little go-to-hell duck face, and that girl back there lost control and went, woo! I don't mean to interrupt anymore, but see, this illustrates the Reverend Billy Wirtz theory of the blues, which is to play the blues, you got to have it in your heart and you got to have it in your soul, but you got to have the proper face to go along with it. I'll show you what I mean. I'll play that same lick without that face, and you get something like... For this, you need what I call the blues face number one, which is the I don't have to tell you, buddy, over there, because you're laughing at what I'm laughing at, and that girl with you is laughing at what you're laughing at, and if she keeps laughing at what you're laughing at while I'm laughing at what you're laughing at, your chances of playing, I can't really say it, but, you know, Bucky Beaver hides Little Mr. Hamster, are getting better by the minute. Smile of we don't need to go up in the woods and take off our shirts and beat on drums to understand each other, male recognition. Because, see, when I play that lick and I look at you and I make that face, you know exactly what I mean when I go... Matter of fact, every guy in the whole place knows what it means when I look at him and I go. Sometimes you need the blues face number 2, which is the I've been beat up, kicked around, and the wife ran off with a karate teacher head shake of eternal pain. You know what you've seen it on the old songs like. This, however, is not to be confused with blues subface A, which is the boy, I need more fiber in my diet squeeze of real pain. And that kind of looks like. Oh, I don't feel all right. You got to move. Sorry. It's the heat. All right, don't get mad. It's just the heat. All right, I'm sorry. When I get to playing the blues, that reminds me of my 4th wife. Me and my 4th wife lived in a double-wide mobile home in a mean little town south of Fayetteville, North Carolina by the name of Chromosome, North Carolina. I know a lot of you all up here have never been to the Chromosome, North Carolina, but I think you know the kind of little mean town I'm talking about. Sonny, you're nodding your head. Yeah, I think you know the kind of mean little town I'm talking about. One of them towns where men are men and 4-legged farm animals better run quick after dark. The mayor drives a gray El Camino, and the first 3 words that children learn is, "Attention, Kmart shoppers." The local high school marching band plays the theme from Deliverance at halftime. My 4th wife, God bless her, I love that woman. She weighed 425 pounds, didn't have no teeth in her head, didn't have no hair on it either, wouldn't do nothing but lay home all day on the purple Naugahyde no down payment till March when you buy the microwave couch. With her false teeth sitting in the bicentennial ashtray, sucking on a Little Debbie snack cake, listening to Patsy Cline on the 8-track tape deck, and watching Nature Boy Ric Flair whoop butt on TV wrestling. Every now and then I come home from a gig like this with some of you people laughing, some of you people kind of looking at each other going, well, this guy's kind of funny, but I don't think he's right in the head. And some of you all out there going, well, this guy's kind of funny, but I really bet he wishes his mama was here right now, because if his mama was here right now, he'd say mama, and she'd say... I'd come home from a gig like this, and she'd look up at me with a one good eye and say, hi! Actually, she'd still have a mouthful of Twinkies, so it'd be more like, whee! Let me tell you, brother, I know you're a big man and you've been around the block a couple of times, but when you've been out all night and you come walking in the door and it weighs 425 pounds and it's laying on purple Naugahyde with false teeth laying in the ashtray, it's been sucking on Debbie snack cakes and watching wrestling, and you walk in the door and it says, hey, run. That means as soon as I finish this snack cake, you and I are going to do a little wrestling. And you know when it's time for love, you got those special little outfits that you wear for each other. She had this purple print muumuu with leopard skin spots all over it she bought from the Fredericks of Hollywood plus to the Fifth Power Shop. Either that or from the Victorias, it ain't too big a damn secret. She'd put on that purple print muumuu and turn on the black light and stick in her false teeth and put Louie Louie on the cassette deck and sing along with the first 3 bars, and all you'd see some little false teeth going like that under the black light, and I'd say, thank you, Jesus. And a voice from somewhere would say, I got nothing to do with this, pal. Then she'd put on her white go-go boots and put Wilson Pickett's greatest hits on the stereo. Wait till I got the Land of 1,000 Dances and jump up on top of the stereo and start wiggling, jiggling around, and all I can see is 425 pounds going every which way like that. Little purple print muumuu going like that. Little white go-go boots are going me like that. Little false teeth to be going like that. And I'd look at her, and I'd look at me, and I'd look at her, and I'd look at me, and I'd look at her, and I'd look at me, and I'd think, Reverend Billy. Hell, buddy, when you got this at home, who needs acid? Then things are getting real good and we go back to the heart-shaped vibrating waterbed. The one underneath the black velvet painting of Elvis, Jesus, and John Wayne having a little picnic in heaven being serenaded by Conway Twitty. And things are getting real good and I'd lean over to her and I'd say, Roberta! Mama, get your big legs off of me. Sometimes we get a little carried away and it would come out sounding more like, you're gonna hurt me, please. If you don't, we'll call Domino's. All right, you don't want to call Domino's? How about Little Caesars? Pizza. Sorry. It's the heat. Because when you roll your big legs around me, it feels so good, honey, but you just won't let me breathe. All right, I'm not kidding around, Roberta. Come on, get up this time. Woman, you drink whiskey like water. Everybody say, yeah. Yeah. And you drink that Jack Daniels like a glass of lemonade. Don't say nothing. Wait for the finger. Oh, you're doing good. You drink that whiskey like water. water, water, water. Smart crowd, good. Wah, 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 wah. And you drink that cherry NyQuil, wake up woman, cough syrup like lemonade. You know, I regret the day I wrapped my skinny legs around your big butt. Because that was about 425 pounds of the biggest butt mistake I might have ever made. Oh my God, she's got the fur glove, the Wayne Newton tape, the Vaseline intensive care, and that look in her eye. Oh my God. Look out now. You guys are being a great crowd. I'm going to get down for you. Honey, I got something down here I want you to see. Roberta, wake up. Domino's. Pizza, pizza. Thank you, thank you. I got something down here I want you to see. You know your white go-go boots are coming up the lining on my new waterbed. And you got to get your big, freaky, frantic, lovely, luscious, fine, Frankie, looks so fine walking down the street like two great big watermelons hooked up in time to the paint shaker of destiny. Playing the drum break to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida in the Kmart polyester hot pants with the love zodiac sign in your left cheek. Large unidentified object on the screen. Legs off of me. Roberta, yeah, kiss me, mama. Thank you. Thank you much. If you're feeling good, let me hear you say, uh-huh. Well, let's do a little old guitar slim tune with a little bounce and feeling. If you like what you're hearing today and you want to sign up and be on my mailing list, you can meet me backstage after the show. I got some CDs and cassettes and prayer rugs and t-shirts and all kinds of good stuff. I'll be glad to take care of you. Right now, here's a little sing-along thing from Guitar Slim. Well, I'm going to tell you a story. Every little word is true. We're feeling good at Red Bank today. Here's what you got to do. Let me hear you say, oh yeah. Well, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Story, it ain't so pretty. Easy to do, I know. You got a good heart, that's the start. This is the way you go. This time a little bit more feeling like you come home late at night, hit your cable TV, and there's that Robert Tilton preacher on the TV. Let me hear you say, oh yes. Now it's not yes, friends, it's yes. And you need to say it with feeling. Say, oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Look out now. Friend got himself a rich girl, used up all of his dough. Can't pay the rent, can't pay the boat, trying to borrow some more. All right, this time, when you say, oh yes, everybody hold your right hand up in the air with me. Come on now, put them up now. Let's put your right hands up in the air, friends. Come on, you're doing great out there. This time when you say, oh yes, turn your right hand around thusly and bring it to your forehead in a way like, oh yes, like that, all right? Now, if the whole audience does it, it'll be cool as hell, I guarantee you. This will be great, this will be great, this will be great. All right, here we go. Friend got himself a rich girl. He used up all of his dough. Can't pay the rent. Can't pay the boat, try and do bow some more. Everybody say, oh yes. Oh, that look great, that look great. You gotta do it again, do it again. Say, oh yes. Now that looks so good. Turn to someone next to you who needs to be healed this afternoon, friends. Take your hands across the top of their head just like you've seen Oral Roberts do it on the TV. Say, oh yes. Now I didn't say beat the hell out of them now. One more time. Say, oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Play that piano now. Look out now. Oh, you like that, lady? Watch this. Watch this. You like it? I'll show you one you really like. Watch this. Somewhere off the Atlantic beach, there was a horrible nuclear spill and a rare form of aquatic life known as the one-eyed, five-headed albino snapping trouser trout was born. Oh my God, run for your lives. Oh my God, it's loose in red blanket and wants to do the trouser trout boogie. Oh my God, it's going me on the butt. Oh, you're so big. I'm sorry, it's the heat. I'm sorry, all right, I'm sorry. I got carried away, I'm sorry. Now, I really wish my mama was here right now, because if my mama was here right now, we'd say mama, and she'd say, moral of this story, pretty girl wants that loot. My little girl wants a home and a man. Whole lot of love to boot. All right, this last part I can't really do over the microphone, but what you do, everybody raise your hands up in the air like so with the palms up. Come on, we're having fun now. All right, now, this is probably going to be my last gig here, so let's just have some fun while we're at it, all right? Now, rotate the palms back and forth, generating the Reverend Billy Wirtz electromagnetic healing vibrations. Now, when it comes around on the piano, close your eyes and say one of two things. Say, oh, and think of someone with your eyes closed and the hands rotating. Think of someone who's making your life a living hell. When it comes around on the piano, think of that person, focus on them, and say one of two things. Say, I can't cope, or eat and die. All right? I can't, it's a microphone. All right, so, but you do whichever one you want and yell it as loud as you can when it comes around on the piano. Here we go. The moral of this story, pretty girl wants that loot. My little girl wants a home and a man. Whole lot of love to boot. Everybody say, each night. And everybody say, oh yeah. Well, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You did a great job. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Oh yeah, that was mighty fine. Look out now. I'm going to go back to playing the blues in just a minute, but right now here's two songs that have nothing to do with the blues, but I think you'll like them. My girl fell in love with a guy named Rush Limbaugh. She turned him in nearly every day. I said, I don't like that guy, Mr. Limbaugh. She said, well, that's a typical liberal thing to say. I said, I think Mr. Limbaugh's a mean man. He makes fun of Chelsea and wears ugly ties. She said, that is not true. He is not a mean man. He's saving this country from all those feminazi, environmental wacko, pro-abortion, homosexual, gender-bending, vegetarian, tax-raising, democratic guys. One night she called him and got through on the line. He invited her up to the show. Before I had the chance to offer a viewpoint, she bought a ticket and away she did go, just as fast as she could to meet that Rush Limbaugh. She didn't know it, but I went there too. She sat in the front row on his TV show and laughed at all of the jokes that he told. She met him backstage and I heard Rush whisper, how'd you like to see my exit poll? They jumped in his limo and off they did go to a fancy hotel where they went in the back. I followed them up to the room and got the video cam from my pack. I picked the lock and I opened the door. My, oh my, what a scene. To the bed there inside, Rush Limbaugh was tied, getting spanked with a copy of Ms. Magazine. So, as fast as I could, got it on film, ran down the hall with Rush in pursuit, describing in detail my relationship to my mother, all pink and rosy in his birthday suit. As I jumped in the taxi, I heard him holler, "If that tape gets out like Jim Baker, I'm through." I'm sorry, Rush, but you messed with my woman. See you on hard copy. Mega dittos to you. There you go, there you go. Here's one for the kids. Well, the king of rock and roll got a new day job, bigger than he was before. He still gets to sing, he got money in his pocket, he don't pay the colonel no more. He was working down at Orlando, but the costumes got a little tight. And It's a Small World ain't the kind of song for the king to be singing every night. Then one day in the papers, there in the classified, Elvis saw an ad and he knew he was qualified. He went to the audition, sang a couple of songs, but his voice sounded different when he put the big head on. They said, "You'll be on TV and in movies before too long. Your name is no longer Elvis, it's Barney from now on." And now the king of rock and roll got a new day job, bigger than he was before. He's packing them in at the local mall. He ain't a nothing but a purple dinosaur. He goes like this: "I love you, you love me. I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree." Oh, thank you very much. Get them kids off my tail. Where's my peanut butter and nana sandwich? Here we go. So the next time you see Barney on your TV set, remember he's not some strange reptile. He's the king we'll never forget. He's not working in the Burger King or resting in heaven above. The boy from Tupelo is a hunk of Jurassic love. He goes like this: "All right, kids, today we're going to learn about health. Old MacDonald, he got sick. E-I-E-I-O. So he called his friend Dr. Nick. E-I-E-I-O. The king of rock and roll got a new day job, bigger than he was before. Packing them in at the logo mall. He ain't a nothing but a purple dinosaur." Lord, this costume's getting hot. I'm out of here. Boys and girls, Barney has left the building. There you go. Thank you much. I'll tell you what, you've been a wonderful crowd this afternoon. You've been a great time. I know this wasn't quite what you're expecting. I see some people having a good time, some people just kind of just not believing what they're hearing, but I hope you've had a good time. On a more serious note, before I go, I do want to play one blues tune for you, and this is just an instrumental piano thing. It was done by a guy named Avery Parrish back in the 40s. It's called the After Hours Blues, and played for all my other musician friends out here this afternoon and all you wonderful folks. It goes like this here. Grandma, dear grandma, we must say goodbye. Packing it all in, grandmama. Please, grandmama, please don't cry. Grandma, you've weathered the storm. The big race of your life's almost run. And now, grandma, you gotta find your place in God's Son. Look out, grandma's back behind the wheel. Look out, grandma's back at the wheel. She's headed to Florida in a big long automobile. A wheel of bobbing and weaving like she's been drinking. Got Pennsylvania plates on a big white Lincoln. Stops on the green light, goes on the red, and all you see is two hands and that little blue head. Look out, grandma's back at the wheel. Headed to Florida in a big long automobile. Got one eye on the road and got one eye on the map. It's about the time of day for her to take a little nap. 30 in the fast lane, happy as can be. Buzzed on Metamucil and the Lawrence Welk CD. Look out, grandma's back behind the wheel. She's headed to Florida in a big long automobile. Everybody sing along, go like this. Say drive, granny, drive. Let me hear you now. A little louder now. Drive, granny, drive. Everybody. All right, you're doing really good. You're really doing it good. All right, but to really do it good, to really make it better, you got to do this. Take two hands and put them in front of your face. Like make two little fists in front of your face. Come on, do it, please. Just do it. It's going to be great. All right. Now, this time when you say drive, granny, drive, put your hands over top of your head like so and make it like grandmother doing the steering wheel. All right. Now, if the whole place does it, it'll look real cool. I guarantee you. All right. This will be great. Here we go. And don't look at the person next to you to see if they're going to do it first. This is a test of what they call codependency. All right. Here we go. We'll drive, granny, drive. Everybody now. Yeah, that looked great. The funny thing is, every time I ask our crowd to do it, the women in the whole place will do it. The guys in the front will do it. The guys in the back that think I can't see them will be going like, I ain't doing that, man. That's stupid. Ladies, if I was with a guy right now and he'd just done it, if I was looking at a guy, I'd think, what a fun, able to meet my needs on a lot of levels kind of guy, you know? But if he didn't do it, I might think, and I can't really say it over the mic, but I might think, what a guy with a bad self-esteem and probably a real image problem and a real small, I can't, but anyway, we'll do it again. You don't have to do it. Drive, gonna drive, okay? Little Mr. Nubby, we'll drive, granny, drive, I knew that would work in Jersey. Drive, granny, drive, everybody now. Hey now, grandma's back behind the wheel. I'll shut up and play the piano, all right? I'm sorry. Calling all geriatric gigolos and septuagenarian sirees. Now you can talk to other red-hot retirees by calling 1-900-OLD-FART. Here we go. Say drive, granny, drive. Everybody now. We'll drive, granny, drive. Everybody now. Hey now, grandma's back behind the wheel. Hey now, grandma's back behind the wheel. Everybody say yeah. Well, yeah. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, you weren't prepared for this, but I hope you enjoyed what you heard. My name is Reverend Billy Wirtz, and remember, as I'm leaving this afternoon, what we say in the first house of polyester worship and horizontal throbbing teenage desire, and our First Lady of the White Go-Go Boot, Lord of the 40-watt undulating bubbling lava lamp, apocalyptic no pizza takeout after 12, shrine of the wrestling Jesus, achy breaky love tabernacle from Nashville, Tennessee. Number 1, sacred cows make good burgers when you know how to cook them up just right. Number 2, one-man sushi will always be the next fella's fish bait. Number 3, 2 wrongs ain't never made nothing right except in Seaside Heights on Friday night. Number 4, speak softly and wear a loud shirt. Number 5, it is better to have loved and lost than to see your former PE teacher on Geraldo. Number 6, a bird in hand is fixing to peck the hell out of you. Number 7, if you can't get rid of them ugly old skeletons in your closet, hell, at least teach them how to dance funny. Last but not least, I'm a long way from home, but it feels like being at a big family gathering with my family and my friends. The only thing missing from this family gathering was my mama, because if my mama had been here this afternoon, we'd say mama, and she'd say, God bless you, thank you much. Don't hold him responsible for what I did. I love you. Good afternoon. Bye. Yeah. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Nashville, Tennessee, the Reverend Billy C. Wirtz. That's right.
Yeah.